Hi everybody, this is Lola with Craft Beer Nation. I am here with my good friend Miss Linda Dean out of Oregon, and we are going to talk to you today about beers that we are anticipating in 2015. Now we've got some schedules up, we're marking our calendars, getting our plane tickets and everything, and thinking about who we're going to bribe and how much money we have to bribe with. So we're going to talk about two each of some of the beer that we're really looking forward to, that we're going to move heaven and that other place for. And then if we have time, we might go into a little bit other things. But I'm going to go ahead and start with Linda. Linda, please tell me what you're drinking right now, and then go into your plans for 2015.
Hey there. I started tonight off with from Boulevard Brewing, which I'll be talking about, with Tank 7 Farmhouse Ale. This is a Sison farmhouse type ale with that's a bit funky,
Pretty.
a tiny bit not very sour, but pretty funky with Brett.
We like that.
It is always a favorite for me. Whether it's cold or whether it's warm or whether I'm eating or just drinking it alone, it's fantastic. I like the funky flavor on it and the scent off it. It's 8.5%, and I know it's pretty easy to get out here on the west coast.
That's what I was thinking, because they're out of Missouri.
I do have another bottle. I don't know if I'll actually break into this tonight.
Ooh, what's it called?
It's a Quad from Boulevard Brewing.
Oh, nice. 6th glass.
This is extremely sweet, extremely strong.
Well, it has a devil on it.
Yeah, at 10.5%. It's a nice malty, sweet red. Anybody who likes doubles and triples, but thinks that they're just not there yet, yeah, you should probably try a Quad.
So push it over the edge. If
That's
three
right.
if it's not strong enough, if it doesn't kick you in your butt enough, go for the Quad.
Go for a Quad, yeah.
Now, once you're finished drinking both of those, are you going to be okay? Are you going to have to pass out? How does that work?
Actually, I probably will not drink both of them tonight because 10.5 really hits me hard.
Oh, yeah.
I'll probably drink another glass of the Tank 7, cork it, because it does just like this one. It comes with a cork.
Nice.
And then I'll start with one glass of the Quad, and then I'll jump right into World of Warcraft.
That sounds like an awesome night.
Yeah, Belgian Quad and World of Warcraft. Yeah.
Well, especially the other one with the devil on it, you could really do some damage. It's like
inspirational.
Yeah, it's like when you're doing your raids or whatever. Just
put
a picture of that up, and everyone's just scattered. That would be kind of awesome. Be a character no one's heard of.
So the beers that I'd like to talk about are from the same company, from Boulevard Brewing. The first one is Stout X. Now, personally, I'm not a fan of coffee being cold at all. Mm-hmm. But the fact is, Boulevard has such a handle on yeast, mm-hmm. and that I really think that they're going to do something special with all their stouts, mm-hmm. and I think this coffee one may be a breakfast one that I'd really like to try. It's pretty much guaranteed to be good and strong at 11%. They also do barrel aged rum stouts that are really good.
And that's going to come out, I think I read, in June, the next one.
Yes. The coffee stout should be in February, mm-hmm. and I think they're only going to do a small run of that. Now, whether I'm actually going to get it or not is another question. Okay. I will be begging our local market of choice to get. There's one beer I know I can't get. That's a Founders, but Boulevard Brewing, because they've managed to get other beers, I think I can probably manage to get market of choice to get some of the coffee stout in. I think Coffee Stout is one of 2015, going to be one of 2015's big beers.
Well, and I was reading about it. They said the X stands for a key ingredient brewed into each of the several limited releases. Do you know what that ingredient is?
I really don't know, but I highly suspect it has something to do with their yeast production, because their wild yeast production is one of their specialties.
Uh-huh.
So I really think it's going to be something to do with the yeast. I don't think it's going to be I do not think it's going to be something common like, throwing in cocoa
Water.
nibs.
I was going to say water. That's
Water.
the secret ingredient.
Water. H2O. That's no, I think it's going to be something special that most of the rest of us just cannot get.
Well, now let me ask you. Now, have they had Stout X before? Have you had anything like that before?
I have had I have had an experimental bottle of Stout by them, and it wasn't funky. It was very deceptively smooth. I'm not sure if that is the correct way to put it. It had lots and lots of flavor, but it wasn't bitter on the tongue. It wasn't biting.
Okay, so blended well.
Yeah, it was exceptionally nice. So I'm expecting this Coffee Stout to be something special.
Good. And I noticed on their website they also said the coffee is Ethiopian Sidamo coffee from someone called the Roastery. Oh, I just butchered that in their city.
Yeah. That's that's a good observation. I know nothing about coffee. I love coffee, but I know very little about it.
I know what I like. I don't know why I like it.
Yeah, most of the coffee I really like is a lot lighter, and I think the Ethiopian coffee is probably lighter than the the usual. Is it Jamaican coffee?
I'm not even sure.
That's a stronger blend. I don't know.
There's like bold. I don't like it when it says bold because then it's bitter. And in fact, I do medium or light.
Yeah. Usually a breakfast blend is good for me, and 99.9% of the time, I only like it hot.
I love hot coffee. That's like my favorite thing.
But if the beer is smooth and it's not going to be too bitter or biting on the tongue, I will give it a chance.
Mm-hmm. Were you on the hangout with us when we did Stone coffee porter?
I don't think so. I've seen it quite a few times in Safeway, but I haven't tried it yet.
I really liked it. I'm totally diverging from what we're talking about, but while we're talking about coffee stouts, it was very smooth. It was a little bitter, but it was so well blended that it didn't bother me, and it just had this nice taste to it, like it was the richest coffee in the world. Like they got this coffee from the Arab Emirates, and it cost.
Oh wow!
That's how good it was. I was like, this is some good coffee. I mean, it tasted like high-end stuff.
That actually sounds pretty good. I might actually go and try that.
I highly recommend it. So when you tasted that other stout, could you taste something that was different, whatever the X factor is?
It wasn't. It was more herbal than chocolatey, but it was really. It just had the stout flavor that you really expect without being slapped in the face with all the hops and the bitterness that some of the stouts do to you.
Okay.
Okay. And I have no idea. It was one bottle. I have no idea when it was brewed or anything, but it was fantastic, and it was really good. I really liked it. Okay. It convinced me to try pretty much anything new from Boulevard.
So that you became a fan.
Oh yes, I became a fan.
You're a fangirl of Boulevard.
Yeah. Yes.
So
if I had money to buy a plane ticket, yeah, I would be on a plane to go and visit them.
And you just stay at the bar and you'd be like, hit me.
Yeah.
Whatever you got, just give it to me.
Yeah, talk about the new stuff. There's the second one that they have is Love Child number 5. Now, Love Child number 4 was a wonderful wild ale. Again, it's all about the yeast and the funkiness and everything. But this one was a sour, and I have a special love for sour beers. And it's not it's not a sour with the nasty sourness.
Okay.
It's an exciting sour. It's like a tangy, tingly. You know, it tantalizes your taste buds. So you take that sip, and then you don't want to gulp it, but you want to just keep taking more and more sips.
You want to absorb it.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
You're like, just give it to me some more.
I think that's why they called it Love Child.
I think they do. Yeah, if you could have a Love Child with a beer, you would.
Oh, yes, yes.
It would come out looking like one of those glasses that do like this.
Yeah.
Either that
By a body-shaped glass. Yeah, almost like that, but maybe a little taller.
Okay. Or it'd be a mason jar. You'd have a stocky
mason jar. Yeah.
Mason jar with no neck.
I could probably just drink it right out of the growler. I'd be happy.
Beers like that, you'll take it however you can get it.
Yeah.
So the picture we showed a minute ago was Love Child number 4 because I could not find a picture of Love Child number 5. They must be keeping this under wraps because all I know about it is that it comes out in May. What else do you know about it?
You know what? All I know is that it's being released. I'm assuming that it's going to be similar to Love Child number 4. Okay. Now, when I went and actually looked for somebody to talk to there, I couldn't actually find anybody in time. Oh. But I'm assuming it's going to be similar to Love Child number 4, which was a fantastic tingly sensation, and I definitely would pay for it. I would pay dearly to get it.
Do you remember how much the number 4 was?
I think it was $9.99 for the bottle.
Was it a bomber?
No, it was about the same size as our Tank 7s.
So that's pretty big. That's not a 12 ounce, is that?
No, it's a 750 milliliter.
Okay, so that's good. $10 for that. That's pretty good. I expect to pay that. Sometimes I'll pay like $15 for something.
If it's an exceptional beer, I don't mind paying a little more for a single bottle. I don't mind.
I better like it. It's going to be $15. I know I'm going to like it. I'm going to make myself like it.
Yeah.
I'll hold my nose and close my eyes and say, I'm just drinking it.
Yeah. So how about you? What do you have on tap today?
Well, all right. First of all, I had a lovely beer to start off with, and unfortunately I finished it while I was doing all this note researching and everything. But I've heard of this, and I never had it, and I just happened to see it in Total Wine, and that just made me so happy. It's sticky toffee pudding ale.
Oh, that sounds lovely.
It was so good. It had just, you could taste like the toffee. It was almost like a hard candy. When you get like toffee candy and you can kind of just taste the toffee, and you just want to suck on it because it's so good. That's what it tasted like. It just had just the lightest bit of toffee on it, and it was just not too sweet, just sweet enough to where you knew it was like almost a dessert beer.
Oh, very nice. And it's a small bottle, so, obviously it doesn't really have the propensity to make it sick after a while.
No, it's not the kind of thing you want to drink a bomber of, because it might make you sick. And, it's not light or anything. But as far as ABV go, it actually is light. I'm looking at this 5%, which is why I'm not storing my words right now.
That's really light.
Yeah, and it's Wells, and I should have looked where they're from. Oh, UK. It's United Kingdom. It's so funny. I'm so used to American craft beer that I forget when I have something from overseas, and I'm like, I'm from every state. I'm like, what state is it from? It's like, oh, it's the United Kingdom.
Yeah, it's surprising what's coming out of the craft brew industry overseas now.
Mm-hmm. It's like they they have the stuff that they've been doing for, for centuries, but then they kind of took a page from our book and was like, well, let's see what else we can do. It's kind of
Yeah,
like
the experimental tastes, especially the dessert tastes, are really nice in a beer.
Mm-hmm. It's so good. I'm still smelling it. I'm like, I may go to bed smelling it. I wish I could wash my hair in this. This would just carry the smell around with me wherever I go. But so I drank that. So the only other thing I had cold, and I know a lot of people don't like ciders, and this gets kind of flack, but I like woodchuck. So kick me out of the club.
Is that woodchuck cider or no? Oh.
It's chocolate raspberry.
Oh, chocolate raspberry. Is that another dessert-like one, or is it?
A little bit. It's a little darker because of the chocolate raspberry. It still tastes like cider. So if you weren't paying attention, you would just think it was any cider. I mean, when you first taste it, it's just cider. But then on the back end, like when you taste your lips, because you're like,
yeah, exactly.
That's when you get the chocolate and the raspberry. It's not until after you've drank it that you're like, what's that taste? And that's when you get the chocolate.
Well, that's pretty amazing right there. That's good brewing practice right there, to be able to target a taste.
Exactly. It's like they scientifically, strategically targeted the back of the taste, instead of hitting it with you up front. So it doesn't taste like a Jolly Rancher or something,
Yeah.
It really tastes subtle. I mean, you got the cider, but then you got just the chocolate and the raspberry.
Yeah, Angry Orchard's regular apple cider, really, it's so sickly sweet. It's really hard for me to take.
That can be too much. And a lot of times woodchuck is like that too. But another thing with the chocolate part, and the raspberry too, but the chocolate part kind of tempers down the sweetness. So whereas like normally at the end of the sip you'd be like, ugh, that's tart. Now you're like, kind of got a little bit of savory chocolate there. So so that's good. All right, so my plans for 2015. I'm so happy the Founders is here. I just can't even talk about how happy I am. Every time I go to Total Wine, I'm like, Founders, because I spent years wanting to try them. Everyone say, oh, Founders is the best. That was like the biggest thing, and it's in Michigan. You can't have it because you're in Florida.
I'm in that position right now. I can't get Founders no matter what I do, and no matter who I talk to. They say, oh, well, we just can't get it here, Linda. Sorry. You can get it in Washington, but you can't get it in Oregon.
What? They're not that far away, right?
Yeah. Silly distribution rules.
I know, it's just deals. I guess they have a deal with Washington and not with Oregon.
Yeah.
But they're expanding. I mean, they're here now, so hopefully they'll come out west some more and get to Oregon. Maybe they want to see the ocean and see the beautiful trees there.
Yes, the craft beer wants to be drunk by the side of Newport at some of the fancier restaurants by true aficionados like me.
Well, and Oregon, I mean, for what I've heard, Oregon is like a big craft beer place.
We are way up and coming. Way up and coming. Portland is I would guess Portland is the biggest craft brew place for Oregon, the entire state. But Corvallis is coming up fast. Right here where I live, we're coming up fast. We have at least 7 active breweries, and we're building more every day.
That's on par with some of the, I would say, at least medium-sized cities,
Yeah.
That's pretty good. Well, Founders, the first beer that I looked at, they have so much stuff coming out. I'm so excited. And Founders is out of Grand Rapids, Michigan. And the first thing is a black rye. And this comes out next month, so January. In fact, I can't remember if it said January 1st. I'm going to have to look at it. And there's a picture of it if you can see that. Doesn't that look nice? They've got such good covers. And they got a little Founders.
Oh, yeah.
I love that font. It's very heavy metal.
Very, very. It makes me think Metallica.
I know, like, black rye, black rye.
Yeah.
I don't know how heavy metal people do.
Ah.
That's what I'm going to do when I go into Total Wine. I'm going to be like, I want black rye. And they're going to think I'm odd and that I've probably already been drinking. And that will not be the first time I've gone into an alcohol store after already drinking. Will not be the first time.
When will we have have you been drinking? You're welcome here.
Well, the funny thing is, one of the last times I went to ABC, that's the liquor store here, there's a restaurant right beside it that I love. It's like just a little local chain here called European Street Cafe.
Yeah.
And what I do is they have their happy hour, which is buy one, get one free with draft beer. So I have my little thing. I go there, I eat some food, I have my buy one, get one free, pints, 10-ounce pints. And then I make my way over to the ABC store. And the last time, I was like trying to put the bottles up on the counter, and I was like dropping it and catching it right here, like my boob strap catching it, I was like, oh. And I was like, excuse me, I was drinking over there, and I'm here now, and I'm going to buy some more alcohol. But I'm not going to drink it now. I'm going to take it home, I promise. So, yeah, that would not be the first time I've done that.
So is that where you're going to get your Founder's Black Rye from?
No, as much as that, the ABC store has a good selection, but it's not the best selection. They don't really have much in the way of Founders. That's really where you go more for some of the Cigar City and, some of the not quite hard to find stuff.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, Total Wine is the best place to go for Founders, because that's where I went recently, and I was never able to get breakfast stout ever. Even when they started coming a year ago,
yeah.
I only got what is it? The Arrogant? What's the? I've already forgotten the name of it. Some of the mainstays, the regular ones. I only got those. The last time I went in Total Wine a week ago was the first time I ever saw breakfast stout there. And let me tell you, they had boxes stacked on the floor of it. Boxes.
Yeah.
Boxes.
Yeah. Do you see these crates right here? Yeah, I'll take them all.
I know.
Yeah, just put those in my car.
Yeah, I was just like dumbfounded. I was like, this is all breakfast stout. Oh my God. And I was like kind of hugging it. And I was like trying to lift it. And I was like, this isn't going to work. Because I had to take the bus. And I was like,
oh, yes.
I know.
Yeah, we have bikes. So, it's whatever can fit in the bike trailer.
So you understand.
Yes.
I mean, I was very limited. And there was that moment where I was trying, like my brain was trying to justify it. Because I'm pretty good at justifying things. I usually can. But it was almost painful because I could feel the wheels turning in my head trying to make the justification. But it just wasn't working. And so it's like, you could hear the gears. You could hear the gears stop where I was trying to push the justification. And I was like, no, I can't get that on the bus. No. I was like,
when you start considering going out and bribing somebody to carry stuff home for you.
Yeah, that's when it's bad. That's when you're like, okay, I need to step back a little bit.
Yeah.
When I heard someone, is there someone else here with us? Okay. Anyways, yeah, so I was like thinking of all my options. I was like, what would my boyfriend do if I called him? He already rolls his eyes whenever I buy beer. I'm like, I can't call him.
Oh.
I mean, I could have taken a cab. I mean, I was actually thinking that. I was like, I could take a cab. But let's go back to the thing with my boyfriend. If I came home with boxes and boxes and boxes of breakfast stout, oh my God. I think that would be it. He would put me in a home or something.
A home for wayward beer ladies.
Exactly. They better have alcohol there. There better be beer. Put me in a home. That's fine. I just want beer. And I want trips to Total Wine. In my Grape and Grain store, that's all I ask for, and internet so I can have my video shows.
Yep.
I've got it all planned out, and an allowance so I can buy my beer.
Yeah. All I need is my MMOs and beer.
Well, honestly, I could stay at home. If I had a way to pay for all of this, staying at home, I could totally do that.
Well, that's when I start having to think. That's when I had to start making my own beer because the expense of buying beer got a little too expensive. So
Which is good. That's a wonderful reason to do it.
yep.
Hmm. Uh, we're actually close to running out of time. I can't believe I actually managed to talk. We managed to talk this whole time. I was so scared that we'd just be staring at each other.
Oh no, me and beer? No, I can talk for hours.
Me too. And so let me talk a little bit more about the rye that's going to be coming out.
For sure.
It's dry hopped, which is standard because, as we've learned before, wet hopped is when the hops are just ready. So that's usually only once a year. So it's not a surprise that it's dry hopped. It's going to be both in draft, which I would imagine would be in Michigan, not in Jacksonville, and bottles. It's only going to be available January through March. So you got to hop on that. I got to hop on that. I got to get down and get me some. And the price is on par with breakfast stout. It's going to be around $10.99 for a 4-pack. What do you think? It's $3. Wait, $2 each, almost $3. So it's not horrible. If it's good, if it's worth it, I'll pay it.
It's decent for a marginal price point.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, if breakfast stout is any indicator, then this rye ought to be awesome because I love black rye beer. I love it. That's like my favorite kind. I drink it up, and I will totally drink this. It's only been brewed once before, and it was only available for less than a year, and it was 9 years ago in 2006.
Did you try it 9 years ago?
No, well, that's another thing. One of the co-founders who we met before on Pints and Quarts, his name is Dave Ingvers. He made the point that a lot of people like me didn't try Founders until recently, so we've never had it. And that they've gotten so many fans in the last 9 years that probably the majority of the people who drink their beer have never had it. So they decided, well, hey, let's try out this nugget, oldie but goodie, right? So it's going to be new to a lot of us. And it's speaking of yeast, it is a blend of German. Oh no, wait, hold on, I'm getting ahead of myself. It's a blend of German and American-grown hops, which sounds interesting. German hops. And 2-row barley, which I've had the thing with 2-row barley explained to me, but it dropped out of my head as soon as it was put in there. I guess they forgot to plug the hole when they were telling me it. So, do you know the thing with 2-row barley?
It has to do with the amount of convertible starches into the malts.
Mm-hmm.
The 2-row is going to be a lighter texture rather than the thicker beers that we know as stouts and porters. It's going to be it's not going to have that thickness to it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a lot more drinkable.
Palatable, I guess, maybe.
Well, you can drink more of it at one time, and it's not going to make you feel like you've had too much at once.
And it's not going to be like you got something stuck in your throat.
Yeah.
So that's good to start off with early in the evening, because, you want to leave room for other beer to trespass through, right?
Oh, yeah, like those quads.
Like, that's for later. Once you drink the quad, I think you're not going back. You're not going to anything else. The quad is kind of the cutoff. That's the end of the night.
Yeah.
Let's see. It's going to be 7.5% ABV, which is pretty good. That's definitely drinkable. I'll be all right. They won't kick me out anywhere if I'm drinking that. 78 IBUs.
Now, see, I think that's pretty high, but then again, I'm still getting used to higher IBUs. I'm not used to a high IBU count yet. It's only in the past year that I've gotten up to the level where I can drink an IPA and actually judge an IPA for what it's really worth.
I guess so, because I mean I've been drinking IPAs for maybe 3 years now, and thanks to the influence of my lovely friends in the craft beer world, I started off with like double IPAs and all that stuff, and so yeah, I'm not saying I prefer that, but I've had it before, and so it doesn't quite bother me at all. So I still prefer the lower IBUs, I think.
Yeah, I prefer them too, but I can actually, I can judge an IPA and a double IPA for on its own merits now without going, oh.
I know. When the people who knew me, I would say 3 years ago when I first started drinking IPAs, I hated them because to me it tasted like I was putting a pine cone in my mouth. That's what.
You know what? I don't mind those with the seasonal releases.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's in a normal, like a summer IPA, that is way too much for me.
Okay. Yeah, it's just, it's an acquired taste. I had to get used to it. I used to, when I would try to drink an IPA, I'd be like, it was just like, what is this? What are you putting? Just get this out of me. I don't want this anymore. But now, my palate's gotten used to it, and I'm like, I actually like the taste. Where I'm like, I like, tasting that grainy texture. Beer
Yeah.
is food. Beer is food, and that's definitely tastes like food.
So did you have another one besides the black rye?
I did, and I had forgotten to paste in the notes. That's what I was just doing. Founders is also going to have a release called Blushing Monk, which sounds like a nice title. Sounds almost like a wine when you say Blushing Monk.
Yeah, Blushing Monk. It sounds like a mix up between a wine and a Trappist ale.
Yeah, it does a little bit. And it's a wild. What am I trying to say? Yeah, raspberry ale. And it's another Belgian yeast strain. We had German hops before, but now we've got a Belgian yeast strain. And they even said on the website that the brewers hate it because apparently the Belgian yeast is just different to deal with, and so it's kind of a pain for them. But they said they do it because of love and because they want us to be happy. So,
always nice to hear that from a brewer.
Exactly, but it's going to be limited because of that. In fact, this is going to be their first this year in the Backstage series, but it's been their 12th overall, and it was actually their first in July of 2011. So apparently it's they're rotating it because Dave Ingvers from Founders, he said that he's thinking they might stick to a 4-year cycle because they had it in July 2011 and they had it 4 years before, so 2007 or whatever that was.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, here it is 2015 again. So if you want it, you need to get it now or else you won't get a chance for another 4 years.
Get it while the getting's good.
Yeah, exactly. And it's going to be, when did I say? I already forgot when it's coming out. Oh, March 2nd. Yep. They said that's when the distribution comes out. But if you really want it, you can go to their tap room a week earlier to get it. Of course.
So I'd say their distribution network is probably already set. So if it's going to come to your area, it's going to come to your area. There's not much you can do except maybe get an under-the-table trade with somebody.
Well, and that might be what I have to do, but I'm really hoping we get it. One thing I should do, I should call Total Wine and ask. Say, are you going to get these?
Yeah, that's true.
Because they should know by now, because that's only 2 months away. It says limited release, so I'm hoping, I don't know if that means a small number or a small area.
Or just a small period of time.
Yeah, I mean, is it just going to be a month, or is it just going to be, 100 cases, or, what does limited mean?
I'll have to look at. I have to look at. I mean, I know most of the beers that get to us are between 6 and 8 weeks old.
Mm-hmm.
So generally there has to be a 2-month window of planning before it gets to the store. So if it's going to be a limited release, if they're only going to do it during a certain period of time, they'd have to plan for a couple of months ahead of time to
Mm-hmm.
make sure that it's fermented and stored correctly. If they're going to put it in a secondary or filter it or let it sit in barrels.
Yeah, so they already know what they're doing. It's just up to us to find out, I guess. I might want to take March 2nd off. I might. I've never been one to stand in line or go out of my way for beer. Not because I don't want to, but mainly because I work. I can't get off for
Mm-hmm.
work, and I haven't had a lot of money. I want to say I have some money now, but our plumbing just backed up, so
I
I
think
don't.
that's, you know what, I think that's a common problem across the
Mhm,
board for a lot of
mhm.
people who enjoy craft beer. And I think that's why the craft brew festivals are such a great idea, because usually that's planned at least a year ahead of time. Here in Corvallis, we always have a summer brew festival. We know it's going to happen every single year. We know that all kinds of breweries from around Oregon and California are going to be here. That's something you could plan for, if you want a little vacation. Craft brew festivals are a great way to try a number of new beers. So if you're, if you're looking for something new, but you can't afford to just jump out of your way to go somewhere, then look for Craft Brew Festival in your area.
I would love that. Now, here in Jacksonville, we tend not to get the hard to find stuff at our craft beer festivals. Our craft beer festivals are local stuff, regional stuff. Like we might get some Cigar City, we'll get some stuff from Georgia. So I really wouldn't go anywhere here looking for like the really rare stuff. But they on craft beer, they've been talking about Brewvival, which I would love to go. That would be so awesome. But apparently, you had to get your tickets like right when they started selling. Because I heard them talking about it, and they were like, "I got my tickets! I got my tickets!" So apparently, you had to get it right then. And it's in one of the Carolinas, I think South Carolina, and it's legendary. I mean, they still talk about it. I mean,
Hmm.
it's just such a big thing for them.
And I encourage anybody who wants to get beer by mail,
Mhm.
make sure that you get your voice heard. Tell the United States Postal Service. Send them letters. Send them emails. Hey, we want to send beer through the mail.
Yeah.
We really
What,
do,
what's the
because
big deal?
there's there's just a tiny bit of resistance left. It's not much. If we make ourselves heard, I'm pretty sure that we can push it through, and
Okay.
it can be there for us.
All right. I would love to do that. I mean, they could charge an arm and a leg, which I'm
Oh
sure
yeah,
they would.
sure they will. Specific packaging and all that, but wow, that would be fantastic.
That would be nice, because then we could get what we want, and wouldn't have to worry about standing in line and, driving 10 hours to get somewhere. It would be a lot safer.
Oh
And
yeah,
and if they're worried about people drinking and driving, hey, guess what? If you mail it to someone, you're not going to be driving.
hopefully, yes.
Yeah.
Just
So, I mean, it's a
don't
win.
drink it on the way home from the post office, guys. Wait till you get home.
Yeah. I mean, less likely to do that than if you drive 10 hours to pick it up. If you drive 10 hours to pick it up, you're going to be tearing into that thing and going, I want
Yeah,
some now.
exactly.
You're going to
And
be drinking probably when you're in line.
yeah, very tempting.
Well, the blushing monk is pricey. For a
Oh,
750 milliliter bottle, it's going to be $16.99.
that is
Whew,
that
yeah,
has got to be something special there. That's,
I hope so. I mean, I have faith in Founders. They haven't let me down yet. They're awesome. So if they say it's worth that much, they must have done something special. Maybe it's the Belgian yeast or the raspberries. Something must warrant that $17.
I would try it at least once at that
Mm-hmm.
price.
I think I would. If I could get it, I would definitely, so I could say I had it. And if I don't like it, I won't get it again.
Yep.
And it's
Yep.
9.2% ABV, so I have fun no matter what. I mean, I'll get my money's worth one way or another.
That's true.
Yeah. All right, well, we have actually gone over, which is very unusual, but I'm very happy that we had this time to chat, and we talked a lot about different stuff and covered a lot of ground. And we're going to have to report about whether we got these beers.
Yes, definitely. I'll be keeping an eye on them. I got mine on my calendar, and you know, I gotta set up a time to go down to Market of Choice and start begging on hands and knees.
Mm-hmm. Say, please save me some of this, please. See if they'll reserve you some under the table.
Yeah. Oh, that would be lovely.
I know. It's like, please. Some people have the magic touch. Some of the people in our beer community, they just go and the the manager already has it set back for them.
I don't know how people do that, but it's always nice when it happens.
They don't even know me, like their eyes gloss over. I spent $80 the other day in my bottle shop, and the guy was like, look at me like, you look familiar, and I just want to say, I come in here every month and I spend $80. Why?
Yeah, we're pretty lucky at our local brew places. They definitely recognize us when we walk in. They even know the styles we like.
That's good. Cultivate that. You're very lucky. I guess I gotta find that place where, cheers, everybody knows my name.
Yeah.
It's not hard. It's Lola. You don't see many people named Lola. It's right on my credit card. If they forget. All right. Well, let's wrap this up because Lola has to go to bed. First, she has to see if the boyfriend took care of the plumbing.
Oh.
Because I may not be able to get ready for work tomorrow, so that's going to be fun. I'm going to have to hand out nose pins to everybody.
Well, thanks a lot for letting me come and talk to you.
You're very welcome. You're always welcome. Every 2 weeks, I should say this now, every 2 weeks we do Girls Pint In Monday nights at 9:30. And if you are interested in Craft Beer Nation, you can listen to us on Stitcher, iTunes, your favorite podcatcher. You can watch us on YouTube, Google+. You can converse with us on Twitter, and we got a Facebook and Instagram. So on behalf of Craft Beer Nation, this is Lola, and thank you very much for joining us, and cheers.